Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another part of my Renovating Base Game series. This is a series where I am renovating the entirety of Base Game using only Base Game. And it has actually been a little while since I shared a part to this, and it's a relatively new series, like I only have a few parts so far. But I started and felt very ambitious, and then I had no ideas. Basically, I tried to renovate the Spencer Kim Lewis house, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I hated everything I was trying. And then I just needed to take a break from the series. And so I've been re-inspired and came to the Blue Velvet Lounge and renovated this one. I've also renovated the library in this same neighborhood. And I'm very happy with both renovations. Like, I am so pleased with how well the base game renovations have turned out. Like, I really thought that they'd be kind of plain and not that interesting looking, but I think this lounge just turned out to be so pretty. And the library too. I've also renovated the Pancakes house, the Starter Crick Cabana house, and the, what's that one starter in Oasis Springs in like the desert area across the street from Johnny Zest. I renovated that one. And so I still have a lot more to do. I might redo that one, honestly. I love how like upgraded I made it, but does it really fit into Johnny Zest's neighborhood? Maybe I should go for something more like run down and cheap looking. Let me know. I don't know. Of course, you guys could always change it up if you guys decide to download it off the gallery, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be happy with it if it doesn't actually fit into the neighborhood. But anyways, so for this one, I'm switching up the front a little bit, making the wraparound porch just a little bit smaller. Instead of like 3 or 4 tiles or whatever it was, it's just like 2 tiles. And I think that's plenty. It's very similar to how I renovated it before, like especially with the layout. The front's a little bit different. I mean, not extremely different, just a little bit different, but the interior is very much the same how I renovated it before, because I did have an entire Renovating EA series on my channel where I renovated this one, the bar, or renovated this one, the gym next to it, and the library. And this one is very similar to that renovation, but it's still very different, of course, because it's only base game, and that one I had all of the packs to do the renovation. And I got rid of the rounded part on the balcony and the lower porch area because for some reason, like the rounded floor is just kind of glitched out, and I couldn't get rid of the floor trim that was on it. And so I don't know, I just figured I would just get rid of it. That way it's not a problem just because of how glitchy it was. I figured if you guys wanted to mess around with kind of renovating it yourself, then maybe you wouldn't run into that problem, and then hopefully it would remove some of those weird glitchinesses with the floor trims. I don't know. It was just causing me some problems, so I got rid of that. Here I added some skylights and then just a few roof decorations, and I used the platform tool to fill in the roof area and half walls around the building, and I think that looks really good. I got rid of all of the interior decorating and switched up and added my own decorations. I also added a stage for the piano and the microphone, which I think is definitely necessary since we have the ability to make those now with the platform tool. So I think this looks really good. And I also added a lot of blue to the interior because this is the Blue Velvet, and there was hardly any blue originally, and it was kind of like a cheaper looking place. At least that's how it made me feel, and I wanted this place to be more high-end. That's how I renovated it before, and that's just how I see this place. I just think it should be more of like an exclusive place, a little bit more fancy. Like, I think you would get dressed up to go here, and I really hope that they add a system like they have for dine out at some point, how you can set the like dress code. And I just think that's so cool. In case you guys don't know, with dine out you can make a restaurant be for like your casual wear or even your sleepwear or swimwear, but you can also, you know, do formal or party wear. I would definitely set this place as more of like a formal or party wear, because I just see it as more of a fancier place. I think you would come here to have a few drinks, listen to very like jazzy music, or maybe even like poetry or something. Maybe they have poetry nights, but everything's very like fancy and high-end. And so that's the look I tried to give it. I also used blue curtains in here, and I changed the piano to be a black color. I think that's much better for this interior. And then I used a brick throughout the entire building. Originally there was some brick, and then there was like yellow wallpaper, I think, and blue wallpaper. It was just kind of confusing, so I guess they had some blue because of that, but I just wasn't a fan. So Something I did here, because I really wish these paintings came in a blue swatch, I decided to add a few of these lights and change the color of them to blue, and then I sized them down using the tool mod so they're very, very small. If you need to delete them for whatever reason, you could probably look really closely and still see them, because I didn't make them invisible, but they're small enough that you won't notice them. But if you can't see them for whatever reason, just make sure you have move objects turned off, and then just delete the wall where they are, and they'll be removed along with the wall and also the windows too. But yeah, that's a way to do it if you guys would like to. But I think adding the light was a great way just to sort of add a little bit more of a blue effect, since the only swatch is purple. I wish they would have came in a blue color. That would have been perfect. But the purple is pretty, and there's some other really nice artwork pieces that came from base game that go along with this whole like jazzy nightclub theme. But over here is going to be the bar. So this is where I moved the bar when I renovated this before, and I think it just makes so much more sense than having this be like one big hall, unless you're gonna make like a full-on dance floor or something. But there's no dance floors with base games, so I think it's much better to have the bar here instead of in the back like it is originally, because originally all of the people that come to visit this place congregate in the back of the building, and that doesn't work for me. I just think it doesn't make so much sense. So now all of the Sims will be here in this main area by the piano and the bar, and I think that works so much better. And then the bathrooms are in the back, and I think that just makes so much more sense. And so that's why I decided to keep the floor plan that I came up with the last time I renovated it, just because in my mind I think that's the best one I could come up with. I'm sure there's plenty of other floor plans that would make perfect sense, but for me, that's the best I think I can do. But yeah, in here in the bar area, I also gave the bar some blue bar stools with the gold accents. Not everything has the gold accents in the bar. I felt like if I did too much, or in like the entire build, I felt like if I did too much gold, it would be a bit gaudy and sort of like a bit extra looking. And so I tried toning it down using some swatches with like darker brown colors and mixing in some like more neutral tones, I guess. But there's definitely some gold accents here and there, which I think kind of add to that fancy feel without being too overpowering. At least that's what I was going for. And then basically I just tried to add decorations that I thought suited the build. I added random side tables here and there with some different decorations that I thought kind of made the place look nice. And something else that I'm trying to do with this series is decorate in a way that I think EA would decorate. So a more simpler way. It's probably not as sparsely decorated as they would decorate their builds, but it's still in a similar style. So that's my goal with these renovations. That way, if you have a lower end computer, you can download these builds easier. And then if you have no packs or one pack or all the packs, then these builds are also going to be easy for you guys to download and then customize based on the packs that you guys have available. For instance, if you do have Discovery University or Get Together, I would highly recommend adding maybe 1 or 2 activities on the second level. I have some card tables here, because we do have card tables with base game, but with like Get Together, there's the foosball table, or Discovery University, there's the ping pong table. I don't know if the ping pong table would necessarily go along with this, but the foosball table would definitely work, or the Don't Make the Llama tables would work really nicely. So there's a few different options if you do have those packs. I'm hoping at some point we'll get like a pool table or something. I think that would be perfect for this build, but at this point we don't have that. But anyways, over here is going to be the bathrooms. I played around with a few ideas back here. I did think about making like a changing room for somebody who's coming to perform here, but I couldn't come up with anything that I exactly liked very much. I don't know, I played around with it for a while, but nothing came out of it, so you guys won't see it in the actual speed build. But I think the idea is good, especially for storytelling purposes. You could have your sim come here and you could have them change and like freshen up in the mirror and, you know, do whatever interactions make your Sims confident or ready to perform. I think that would be really cool, but I didn't make it happen in this speed build. But I think it's a good idea. So if you guys decide to download this, then maybe you guys could come up with something that would work for that. But of course, if you just hire like a pianist or a violinist or whoever, they're not going to change. They'll just come here dressed up. But I do like the idea. So yeah, you'll see here in just a moment that there's just 2 bathrooms back here, and they're exactly the same. They have like a stall where the toilet is, and then just some counters with a sink. They're very simple and plainly decorated, but like I said, that's what I was going for because I wanted to decorate in a more simpler way, like how EA would decorate their builds. And so I think it kind of is. Of course, I'm using like move objects and those types of things. And then I'm using a black toilet, which I thought was kind of nice. I feel like I never use black appliances or like toilets. So I thought that was kind of fun. And then I also added windows in the stalls At first I wasn't really sure if I wanted to, but then it just looked so plain and empty without them. But you could of course like close the curtain if you needed privacy. So yeah, I thought that looked pretty nice. Then I just put some like plants, and then the hallway leading to the bathroom is pretty simple. There's just like an area rug or a runner rug, chair in case you're waiting for somebody to come out of the bathroom, a side table with a few decorations, and then I was going to place this painting because I really liked the violins on it, but it wasn't blue, it was red, and it just felt like it didn't go with anything. But the one I ended up placing is perfect. It matches the build like perfectly. So originally on the second floor, there was just like this long, kind of narrow wraparound balcony looking down to the lower level, which I think is okay. I think it was just kind of plain and no activities. Here I'm just copying over the bathroom, so the lower bathrooms are exactly the same on the upstairs because I literally copied over the room, so they are identical. And I even decorated like the hallway area leading to the bathroom pretty much exactly the same, but I couldn't really think of anything else I wanted to add there, so I felt like that made the most sense. Here I'm adding some flower boxes to the windows. All of the flower boxes have the red flowers, and then they're layered with this more kind of like overgrown flower box, which I think looks really nice. And yeah, I like the amount of windows. I think originally there was a lot less windows, but I think this makes a lot more sense, and I think it looks super cute this way. And yeah, I think the balcony upstairs makes so much more sense to be smaller. That way you can actually have room for activities up on the upper level. And then here in the back, I do get rid of the fence. I also switch up the flooring, and I just put like a couple of seats around the fountain, and then some landscaping. Very simple landscaping. I just add some like bushes and a tree. So I think it's much simpler than it was originally, but I think it looks better. I think it needed some landscaping. It felt, I don't know, I guess there was a couple of like plant things, but I don't know, I just felt like it needed some more. And so I also added this mailbox, and then also the decoration next to it I want to look like a bike rack. So if you do have like Discovery University, or if you have Eco Lifestyle, or you have any pack where bikes exist, then you can put bikes there as decoration. I thought about adding a parking lot, but there's no way for your Sims to actually drive to this lot, so we'll just pretend that the parking is on the street or down the road or something. But I did think some parked cars next to this building would look good, but yeah, I decided against it. And then here I thought about adding some of these like hanging plant baskets, but I don't know, I felt like it was just making the build look unnecessarily busy, because I don't know, I was trying to do a more simpler look, and I think adding those was kind of making it look how I renovated it the last time, which is a lot more busy and cluttered, which I do like, but I think for these renovations I want to keep them more simpler, and so I decided against it. But of course, if you guys want to add those, it would be an easy thing to add, just to add a little bit more extra decoration. But yeah, moving on to the second floor. So like I said, I wanted there to be more activities. I also added some more chairs up here, and I added a giant chandelier. So I sized up this base game chandelier. It's the same one that I used above the bar, and then I changed the color to blue, and I was like, oh, this is perfect for the blue velvet. Like, I was so excited when I did that. I thought the color on it was so pretty, and I just really enjoyed it. I also closed off the area by the staircase leading to the bathrooms. I felt like that was better to have separate rather than one open room. So you'll see that here in just a moment. And then I also added some like pillars and stuff, just to add some like structural elements and more detail and stuff without adding like extra clutter and stuff. But this is the wall that I added, and then I used these archways again just to separate the space and add a walkway through to the separate spaces. And then I added this painting from Base Game, which is perfect for this type of build because it has the blue, but it also has the piano and the golden frame too. There I just added a guitar in a blue color, so I was pretty excited about that. So this is one of the card tables that we have from Base Game. There's 3 different swatches. There's one with a gray top, and then like a light gray frame, I think, and then there's this one which is brown and green, and then there's a red and black one. I ended up using, I believe, the one with the red, if I remember correctly. But I wish it would have came in just like a solid black or solid brown, just like a regular table or something. That would have been perfect. Oh, and then I used these portraits. I thought these were perfect because they could be like, you know, stars that have came here in the past, and these are their headshots. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I was really pleased with the way that turned out. Something that I realized when I thought I was done with the build, I thought that I've added everything that was necessary on this lot, or everything that was required, but I didn't have a stereo, and so I do add the jukebox up here, so you'll see that in the screenshots, but I don't think you'll see it in the speed build. But yeah, this is the color swatch that I ended up going for. I felt like the red worked best. Like, it doesn't match entirely, but I felt like the green stood out too much and the other one just looked a little bit too plain. And then I used this rug and I sized it up using the tool mod, and then I just played around with the lights here, but I ended up just using some plain simple, I think the same ones that I used in the lower level by the bar, but right above the table. So you'll see that here in just a little while. But anyways, I just add some other decorations, a few things over here, and I also add some decorations over by the bathrooms, very similar to how I did downstairs. I pretty much just copied over the same items and tried to decorate it just to look very clean and simple, but it still feels fully decorated, and I'm so pleased with this renovation. I think I almost like it better than my original renovation of this lot. So if you guys saw that one, you guys will have to let me know which one is your favorite, and let me know if you guys are excited for this series to be back, because I know I took a break and there's been a few comments asking where it's been, or if it's over, or if I'm coming back to it. You know, it's not over. I'm still very interested in doing these renovations. I just needed a little bit of a break. So yeah, I'm back now, and this is basically it for the build. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and hopefully you guys enjoy the screenshots. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
I've hung around this place too long. It's time for me to be moving on. Moving on. Yes, it is. Got no regret. Ain't nothing gonna wrong. It's just me following a line that the stars have drawn. That's why I'm in the wind. That's where you'll find me. I'm in the wind, long, long gone. Let me tell you, a new day begins where nothing binds me. I'm letting go of all that's ever been. I'm in the wind. Oh yeah. It might seem bold, headless and careless, heading out in the cold with no direction clear. But let me tell you, I heard a YouTube guru say